Well, Jose, if we start at half-time, we saw what you changed, but just tell us why and what difference it made.
I think obviously the quality and the dynamic of Lucas and Lo Celso, they made a difference. And I want to say, but I cannot say. We had something in the first half that we didn't have in the second half. So in the second half we improved a lot. But don't ask me to tell more because I cannot do it.
I'm going to have a little go because I'm guessing from that you think it wasn't formation or fatigue or anything like that. You felt maybe a bit of character, a bit of heart was missing first half?
No. I think fatigue. Lucas had, and Lo Celso had, and Bergwijn had, and Dele Alli had, and they gave what you saw. Don't ask me much more than this. I was expecting players not tired to give more to the team, and I think somebody has to realize that this is a Premier League. I think this is probably a new experience, and the first time he comes to Burnley. And I hope that next season it can be fantastic because until now it's not enough.
So you're not talking about Skip, you're talking about obviously the other player you substituted.
Let's move on. Skip is a kid, did a fantastic 120 minutes. I needed to protect Winks. Winks was another one that was in his limits, and we managed to have Skip fresh for the Tuesday match. And Skip is a kid in evolution, and I never want to criticize a kid like him.
What would you say about Lo Celso in particular and the way he changed the game, turned it in your favour?
He dynamized the team, and I think Dyer was also today much better playing in midfield. I think the confidence levels come from the fact that he's playing so well as a centre back, and that brings the transfer to when he's in midfield. He's much more confident to play because his ego, his self-esteem as a player is on a high. So I think in the second half we had a very good dynamic with Dyer and Lo Celso, and of course Lucas gave us things that we don't have. I think clearly we were very dominant in the second half. Clearly we arrived in very dangerous positions. Clearly we had this kind of assists, low crosses, back crosses, where the sharks of the box they would smile on it, and we don't have sharks in the box. But the attitude was fantastic. It's very difficult, obviously, to play here, especially when they are in such a positive moment. And of course, I'm not happy with the result, but I'm happy with many things that I saw in my players, in my team. And again, I take day after day in training, in matches, day after day, I take very important conclusions about my players and about my team facing the future.
The fact that Lo Celso and Moore have had to give you extra tonight, more than probably you hoped, do you fear that might have a knock-on for Tuesday?
I think 45 minutes is fine. I was expecting not to be losing at half-time and then to bring Lucas Celso with 30-35 minutes to go to try then to attack the game. But we conceded that goal, and the problem was not the goal we conceded. The problem was that in the first half we didn't have midfield players to get the ball and to assume the responsibility of building from the back. So many times we had to go long because midfield players were hidden, and in the second half the midfield players, they were showing themselves all the time, and as a defender it's much easier to pass, it's much easier to build, and then it's much easier to connect with the attacking players. The number of yellow cards they got on fouls on our transition to attack is clear a sign of how good and how dangerous we were breaking the lines. So a very good second half between two teams in different circumstances. One after 2 hours of football, another one completely fresh. And I repeat, I'm happy with the players. The box sharks we don't have, so I cannot complain with them about that. I think in the first half, I must work to try to improve, but coaches, they also need the players to cooperate in that work of their improvement and their evolution.
So last question, the midfielder that you're not happy with, how does he get to the level that he needs to, that you need from him?
I hope that he uses every minute on the pitch and every minute knowing what the Premier League is to improve. There are many fantastic players that in first seasons in new countries, for different reasons, they struggle. There are many examples of it. So he's a player with a great talent, and he has to know that he has to do much better, and he has to know that I cannot keep giving him opportunities to play, because the team is more important than the players, and the players they must be on the pitch as consequence of their work, as consequence of their performance. This is a performance level football.